The following video is meant for the adult nerds in the community, so if you're under 13, please stop. Hey guys, James Sharmack here, Nerd Room with J&J. So, you see I'm sitting next to my latest acquisition. It's April now, but I finally got my hands on the Star Wars Arcade1up cabinet. Now you've already probably seen the gameplay player with Jason. If you guys want to see me do a gameplay, let me know, but it seems redundant to do two of them, but I just wanted to do a video about why I had to get this one, because when this was announced in June at E3 of 2019, I immediately went to Jason, told him this was the Arcade1up I had to get. This is the one that I needed in my collection. If there was no other one, I had to get this one, and I kind of wanted to explore why. Wanted to talk about how this game was a part of my life, how I needed to have this, how it reflects on my life, or how it's been reflected. So let's explore, shall we? Now, before 10-year-old James first experienced the game, of course he saw the movie. Now, how did 10-year-old James experience Star Wars, and what did he take away from it? Star Wars, as it was titled at the time, grabbed at almost every kid's imagination at the beginning of the 80s and the late 70s. It had heroes trying not only to save the princess, but also stop the bad guys from taking over the universe. You had sidekicks such as robots and Wookiees trying to help out as well as they could, while all the while maybe interfering along the way. You had spaceships which were shooting at each other all the time, which also grabbed at every kid's imagination because it was space, right? And you had this power called the Force, which at the time was only limited by a kid's imagination at the playground. So how could this movie not be the greatest one of all time? So Star Wars at the time is like what the Marvel movies are now. It was the event. It was the thing that all the kids talked about. It was the movies that everyone wanted to see. So when merchandise started coming out, naturally, it only took a matter of time before, say, an arcade game for Star Wars, based on Star Wars, would come out, and of course it premiered on television. I first heard of the Star Wars arcade game way back in '83 when I saw it on one of these video game competition television shows that they used to air on cable television, and it really intrigued me, and it was a game I knew I had to play. Now, every now and then, not so often, but every now and then, the 10-year-old me used to be able to go to arcades every now and then when my father would let me, or take me out shopping or whatever. We'd maybe play a game or two. I've never seen the Star Wars game in the arcades around Syracuse, New York at the time, or wherever there would be video games. So, when did I first play my first Star Wars arcade? Well, I had to go out of town, so let's talk about that. So it was April 1984. I was about 10 years old. Me, my younger brother, and my grandmother went on a bus trip to Delaware to see my grandmother's newest great-grandson, who she hasn't seen. So we went there by bus, of course. The layover was in the Philadelphia, that bus station there. So, there isn't much to do in Philadelphia, in the bus station itself. It's, it's a standard one. Bathrooms, are, coin operated and all that. So, I was a 10-year-old wandering around and came across a cabinet in the middle of there. Went over to my grandmother, got maybe a couple of quarters, and started playing it, and just was instantly transported into the world, the universe of Star Wars. Obviously, flying the X-Wing, taking on the TIE Fighters, and just so in awe and just happy as a clam, and whatever, just in that whole universe just made me so happy at the time. So that one few hours stay in Philadelphia never left me. It's just so thrilling when you're 10 years old to be able to get your hands on a controller and take out a Death Star or take out TIE fighters and be Luke Skywalker and, you know, fight for the rebellion. Something that never left me. You know, this is a game that I've always loved. It's a game that, you know, I've told people when I won the lottery, I wanted to have an arcade game, you know, the actual one, you know, in a collection or something. It'd be like, you know, one of the stars in the arcade or whatever. I've played, you know, every other Star Wars arcade game. I've played this one in not only the standing cabinet, but in the cockpit form. I've played the pod racing one. I've played the Battle Pod one, of course. I've played the Sega one. But this is one that I've always come back to. This is one I've always wanted to, you know, keep on playing and wanted to play again. And I don't know if I could ever do it. And then Arcade1up came along. In case you've been under a rock for the past couple of years, Arcade1ups are 3/4 scale machines, about 4 feet in height. They can hold anywhere from 2 to, say, 5 or 6 games on them. And they run on emulation, so they're created more for having an arcade game in, like, an apartment or a house setting, and they're priced where, you know, someone could probably afford it. They're around about $300, maybe $500, about the price of, say, a high-end console. So it's just more for a status thing to have an arcade machine in your apartment or house or whatever, to say you have it. And, you know, if you wanted to, you could get multiple ones and make it like a mini arcade. So, you know, there were games for the Arcade1up that I was curious about buying, didn't want to pull the trigger, didn't want to buy them. I would say to people, you know, if there's a game that, you know, Arcade1up would never get that I would want, that would be the Star Wars Arcade one. That would be the one that would get me to, you know, actually buy one. Didn't think it was going to happen, and then E3 happened last year, and they promoted this. They promoted the hell out of this, basically saying to me, give us your money. And it took a while. It took a long time. You know, they released it in October. I was trying to get the money for it, and you know, it's been an effort. Finally got it. Now, what's the big deal about getting it? Let's take a look and see. It took me and my Barney Fife skill set about 5 hours to assemble. It looked great on its own, but when I turned it on and saw the game come to life, the marquee light up like it was 1983 all over again. It was then that the little boy who still lives inside me, who wanted this game, who wanted to have this arcade game for his own, wanted to make enough money for it, just was in such awe, and he shed a little tear and just said, wow. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Everything I've said comes from the heart. Just, you know, I just love having this. It makes me so happy. It took 5 hours to put it together because I'm kind of a screw up, but like I said, when I turned on that light, just all the frustration went away, and that little boy came out, and just, even I'm looking at it right now, I'm just smiling. It's just so happy to have it. It just, the memories, that little boy who loves Star Wars comes out and he's playing this. I've played the other games on here so far. You know, I'm not a big fan of Return of the Jedi. I do like Empire Strikes Back, you know, but Star Wars is definitely the one. So that's basically one of the games that made me. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. If you guys want to see me do more video game, you know, not so much reviews, but appreciation videos, let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to see if I can get one out for you, or some more. Do you guys have this? Do you guys have any 1-ups? Let me know in the comments below. What, if I wanted to buy another one, what should I get? So anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. See you next time in the Nerd Room with J&J. Until then, keep on collecting and happy hunting.